All right, so the bricks that I have on the sidewall here, they're just like 7 by 14 inch bricks. They're 2-inch thick. I've already cut all of them, and then I've routed the edges, and then I'm just picking out the foam for in the middle. I've got a whole stack right here for the other side, and I even cut a couple extras. But what I'm doing right here in the corner columns is I'm cutting some little 4 by 4 by 7 bricks, and they're gonna line up with the ones on the side, and the plan is to just round it over and give it that same routed edge with the picked out rock. Let me show you. I first do the squares, then I round over, and then I give it the routed edge and then pick it out, and I'm gonna give it the 1/2-inch grout lines, and I'll go back and fill that in with great stuff. I've got my homemade little hot wire cutter, and I can adjust it by just loosening the screws and then doing whatever measurement. I've got it at 4 inches. I've got my little setup down there, and I just turn it on and cut my pieces. So I just turn on my hot wire. Next thing I'm going to do is cut it down to 7 inches. Now I need to make one of the corners round, so I'm just using this hole saw to give me a round edge, and I'm tracing it like that. Give myself some little reference lines there. Take my little curry comb. Now I have a little sanding block. I'm just going to smooth this over. Alright, now I've got my bull-nosed corner brick here. Next thing is I'm going to route that edge. I've got a router table set up here with the bit in it just to make it easier to hold this foam when I'm doing it. Now you can see it's not perfect, so now I'm just going to go in and kind of sand it by hand to kind of clean that up. No big deal. Doesn't have to be perfect. This is a Halloween prop after all. Now to rough up the brick. So the first thing I'm going to do is I just grab a couple chisels or screwdrivers and poke out a couple spots. Just random. Got a couple different wire brushes here. Last thing I'll do is I'll just knock down some of these edges just so it's not so sharp. You can just look it over, make sure you like it. And there you go. I'm going to use great stuff to glue this to the plywood, and it's all ready for hard coating.
Good morning, everyone. We are getting a lot more progress done on our mausoleum. If you guys watched the last video that we had, we let you guys know that we are building a huge mausoleum for the Halloween season. And now we have a ton of foam detail on it now. We thought, Better show you guys before we start hard
Right.
coating and painting.
Yeah, we have a little bit more foam left to do. This morning I'm going to come out and start putting the little decorative pieces that are up on the top of each one of these columns. But since the last video, we've added a little bit of trim down here, and I did that by cutting a couple different pieces of foam through the table saw and the hot wire cutter, and then gluing those together with the Great Stuff expandable foam. And
a lot of people ask us how we do glue our pieces of foam to stuff.
Yeah.
What have you found has been the best?
I really haven't used or tried anything else other than using expanding foam. I just always make sure that I get the window treatment foam, which is the blue can of the Great Stuff brand, because it doesn't it's pretty lightweight.
It doesn't expand like the
Yeah.
regular Great Stuff, right?
Yeah, and then I use the wood shish kebab sticks, which I would prefer using metal because a lot of times my wood ones always snap and break. It's really annoying. But we just buy tons of them because Gina finds them at garage sales and stuff and brings them home. So I haven't switched over to metal shish kebab sticks yet, but that would probably be better, something metal. The only thing I got to still do up at the top is add a top cap and maybe the ledge, you know, glue the ledge on the side, and then that's pretty much done. One thing that I need to come back in here and do is chip it up and make this thing look haunted and cracked, but I'm trying to, it's like I want to go, part of me wants to go real heavy, and the other part wants to go a little lighter. Part of me wants to make cracks, some of me wants to make like more like green mold and moss or whatever it's called. So yeah, how crazy should we
put a heavy black wash over it and call it a day?
Well, we may want to do that too, you know, like we don't know.
Oh, we know. It'll be detailed.
I also should probably fill in these cracks a little bit. This grout line is a little empty.
What are you going to fill it in with? Great Stuff?
Yeah. Yeah, I tried using the Loctite yesterday, and it was a can that I had purchased months ago and never used. I actually don't like that stuff as much. I know it's specific to whatever a haunter's needs are for doing certain things, but for this, it almost felt like a melted marshmallow. It was real gooey compared to that window Great Stuff that I'm used to using. So I was like, I felt like I was getting all stickied up, and I was like, no way, I threw that stuff away. But I could see how it would be good for using with water and molding and shaping into forms and stuff.
Chris, where do we get our foam from?
I don't even know anymore.
I'm just kidding. If
Where do
you
we
guys
get it?
are curious, we have a video that talks about all the places we get our foam. I will link that
Yeah.
in the description.
Now, yesterday I banged out the top real quick. I framed that thing just like I do all the other walls. I used the 1/4 inch Luan or the underlayment cheap stuff from Home Depot or Lowe's, and then shot it together, wood glued, and then just like the trim, cut pieces of foam and built up my layers to kind of give us a little bit of a decorative edge on the top of the roof, just so it has something. We're trying to stay pretty generic with this stuff, not get too detailed, like with all the little kind of crown molding bumps and things like that. Trying to keep things a little bit bigger.
Because
So-
you could just keep adding detail and detail and
It's
detail
true,
to
it's
it.
true. Gina suggested that I split the top up into 2 pieces so that it was easier to lift up. And right now it's just sagging a little bit because we haven't had hard coated that foam. But once we hard coat that, it'll be 3 pieces. It should be able to lift it up there.
Yes, we're getting a little bit older, aren't we?
Yeah.
Our backs don't work quite the same as they once did. Can I just say the Western town? What building was that? Was that the general store? That
What?
thing was a beast. Trying to lift the general store.
I don't remember.
Oh my gosh, for
mean
Grave
like-
Rock Gulch? Oh my gosh, we had the neighbors coming and helping us. I think we killed their backs too.
I don't remember that.
Oh my gosh. We all got and we like lifted it up and it was like, oh my word. You don't remember that?
Well, you can. We usually build it. You talking about to tip it up?
Oh,
you
but
don't
it
have
was
to tip it up like that. You can just build it and then stack it.
no. It didn't matter
Dependent.
which way it was.
It was hard.
Oh,
It was
dude.
probably a barbershop.
You were
thing.
sweating.
I
And
don't
you
remember
oh
that.
my gosh.
God,
I'll never forget it. I go to therapy The day I brought
damaged ever since then. Never again.
Nightmares.
But anyway, yes, you guys, this was pretty much, we just wanted to show you another update video before.
Yep.
Because I tend to, a day goes by and another
Once
day
we
goes
get
by.
going, we get going.
I think it's a little bit easier for Gina and I to shoot a little video in the mornings before we get going, because throughout the day it just doesn't end up happening.
Plus, you're a lot sweatier. Foam beads are sticking to you.
Yeah.
You look like you've got foam pox.
Yeah.
All right, so there's another update for you guys.
Yeah.
Hopefully the next time you see this, it'll be hard-coated and maybe even painted a little bit.
That won't be for like another month.
Better not.
See you guys
Time's a
then.
ticking. I think we said it in the last video, but we are going to put a door here as well.
Yeah, that is what I'm going to actually work on today. I should add a like a piece of wood in there to like frame it out, basically. Build a door casing in, maybe give it a little more depth, and then I will be able to add some foam right in here. And then I think I'm going to make the door two pieces that swing inward, and you know, maybe make it to where it has some fake rubber rivets, which I don't know where we got those. It was years ago. For those of you who are curious, they're just actually faux fake either resin or rubber rivets. I have found a couple people on Etsy that do make them, but I'm sure there's someone in the haunt community that makes rubber rivets. So
could you make them out of hot glue? Like if you had a little mold?
Could. Yeah, yeah.
I know people have used googly eyes before.
Yep.
But like someone was saying, you can push them in if you know what it is, you know?
Exactly.
And that's not cool. Don't be pushing in people's rivets. They're googly eye rivets. But if you guys haven't guessed yet, this is actually our new storage shed.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
We need to. We
I'm
need
totally.
like 5 of them. We need to be looking like New Orleans with all these lined up.
Hey, that would be awesome.
Yeah.
I like that idea.
Just make a bunch of sheds.
Hey, man, if we weren't renting,
Do you think they would let us sell one at the Home Depot? That'd be weird, wouldn't it? You walk in there, or their parking lot has a bunch of mausoleums lined up in it.
yeah,
And they would all be different too.
they would all
You
be
know?
different. Yeah.
Let us know what you guys think. Like I said, we still have a little bit more foam work to do. Oh, this was Gina's option. I didn't know if she wanted a longer one with a bigger bull nose or a smaller one with the roughed up stuff.
Too many decisions.
I give her a little bit of options to help narrow down some things sometimes. Also thinking about roughing up these edges as well with like a sanding disc or something. So yeah, I don't know how heavy we should get with the whole aging and the haunting and all that kind of stuff, but yeah, we'll probably just end up doing it, and you'll see in the next video.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, you guys.
See you later.